As you can see, I've got a pattern for a pincushion here. It's a square pincushion. It's got directions on the top and the pattern on the bottom. So the first thing you want to do is cut out your pattern. So you want to cut on the solid line. Do not cut on the broken line. You want to cut around the entire solid line. When you're done, it's going to look like this. Okay? So the first part of your directions actually tell you to cut 2 fabric pieces using the patterns below, the pattern below. So I have the pattern below now. So I'm going to get my material set up. So most material has a side that looks a little bit better than the other side. So this is the good side or the right side, and this would be the wrong side. So I'm going to put my right sides together. Let's see if I can get the right grain here. Okay. So the right sides are going to be touching each other in the middle. Okay, so make sure that both of your good sides on your 2 pieces of material are actually touching in the middle, and you've laid them on each other so they're pretty much evened up the best you can get it. So basically, if I turn it this way, I'm going to have my edges evened up as far as I can. Next thing you're going to do is put your pattern piece on top of the material. Okay, so you just want to set it up so that it's again symmetrically on there the right way. You don't want it crooked on there. You want to put it on there so that you're matching up the grain line that's going width or lengthwise and crosswise, like that. Okay, so that's good on there. I'm going to now take some pins and I'm going to pin the pattern piece to the fabric. So the tricky part of pinning is that you have to get the pin in the material and then back out of the material. All right, so I'm going to show you a way to do that is a little bit easier when you're learning. So again, you don't want the pin to be hanging off the pattern. The pin has to stay on the pattern because you're going to be cutting on the edge of the pattern piece so that your material will be the same size. So I have to do it flat on here, so I hope you can see. But anyway, finishing up the pinning, going to this corner now, pushing it in a little bit, grabbing with an index finger in the back and pushing it through towards the front again and not having it hang over the pattern piece. So we've got one more piece to put in here. Okay, and then we're going to put one in between the pins just to keep this thing from moving around while you cut it. So again, I'm going to put one here. Right. And then one's going to go here, and you just can keep that on the table while you do it. I'm holding it up so you can see better. Okay. And then one more is going to go right here. Oops. And they do have to be somewhat close to the edge, or they're not going to do that good a job holding it down for you. So in other words, I don't want to put my pin like here. That's not going to help as much. You want it to be close to the edge to really benefit from having it in there. All right, now we're going to cut around all 4 edges so that our pattern piece is now going to be the same size as the fabric. Okay, just carefully make sure that you're right up against the pattern, but you're not cutting the pattern. Okay, take your time so that you don't make a mistake, because if you make a mistake, you might have to start over again. And one more side here. Okay, so my pattern piece is now, fabric-wise, is exactly the same as the pattern. Next thing we're going to do, and it's on your directions, is you're going to use a transfer technique to mark the 2 dots on the wrong side of each fabric piece. So here are the 2 dots on your pattern rather. So you're going to take the pin out, and it said to mark the dots on the wrong side of the fabric. Well, the wrong side, if you recall, is on the outside. This is one wrong side piece, this is the other. Remember, the inside is the good piece, is the right side or the good piece. So we don't want to put the dots there, we want them on the wrong side. So what I'm going to do is show you a pin transfer technique. Go straight through one of the dots, okay, all the way through. And then you're going to peel back just the pattern piece so that you can see where the pin is meeting up with one of the wrong sides. So I'm going to lay it flat. I'm going to draw this dark line here, trying to make a dot, where the pin meets the fabric. So that's one mark. And then just go all the way to the opposite side and you do the same thing. Where the pin meets the fabric, you're just going to draw on there so that you have a dot that's going to show up. Okay, so that one's done. So now you're going to take a pin and go in the other dot and do exactly the same thing. You can remove any pin that's in the way, but you'll flip it back so that you can see where the pin meets up with the wrong side of the other dot, fabric rather, so you can make the other dot and turn the whole thing over and go draw on the dot on the back side now where the fabric meets the pin, so you're drawing that there. So when you take the pin out, if you can see, but you've got a dot here and here, which is exactly in the same position as the pattern dots, and you've got it on this side too. So now what you'll do is you're going to take the pins out, all of them, and you're going to end up with just your fabric. There you go. And now you're going to sew it.